Okay, now the next topic is the row slicing, right? Or the subsetting. So basically, row slicing, or is known as a row subsetting, right, refers to the process of selecting and extracting a specific set of rows, right, from a database, from a data frame, okay, based on certain Boolean conditions. So the good example, let's just use the example, okay? Let's say you know that this is a result, right? This is a data frame, right? So you know the data frame. Let's take a look at this data frame, right? You know that this data frame has what? The columns, right? Author column, okay? The author columns and the article column and age column, right? And then you know what? This is a label, okay? This is, by the way, this is not the initial value. This is the label. Actually, this is a row. The row label. Okay. So label 0, label 1, label 2, and label 3. And these labels are created by default. Okay. But anyway, so if let's say if he wants to extract the rows whose age is what is greater than 40, right? In such a case, first you have to use a Boolean expressions, and then you know that okay. So this is a result, right? Result is your the variable reference variable is pointing to this data frame, right? And then you look at the result age, which is this column, right? You use the square brackets, and then column name with the single quote, right? So the age is greater than 40, right? So what the Python does is they look at this age column and it's 21, right? So the first stat is going to be false, right? And then you look at the next row and 32, that's false, right? So this is false and false. And then you move to the next row and examine the value 44, right? And then that's a true, right? And then 53 is greater than 40, right? So that's a true, right? So now let's take a look at, let's just write a simple code. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just copy this. Okay, hold on. Control C, okay, then Control V. Okay, so that's the, okay, so now let's just run this things, okay? The result age, which is this column, is greater than 40, right? Okay, so you know that it returns a list of Boolean values, right? False, false, true, true, right? So now we are going to use this expression, this Boolean expressions, and put into the index location of this result. So when I say results, right? I mean, we can say, you know what? Okay, so let's just do this, right? And then we'll put this Boolean expression inside this bracket, right? So that's the result. And then this one will returns a row with a true value. Okay, so let's just, if I run this, right? Okay, you know that it returns the what? Hold on. It returns the third and third and the fourth row, right? Why? Because hold on. Where's the red? Okay, so it returns this row, right? Because it's it's corresponding value inside this index, right? That is the that's a true, right? And then it also returns the next one. Why? Because the Boolean value inside this index, right, is what is a true, right? So that's why it returns this and this row. Okay, so this is, we're going to use this expression in many times, so please make sure that you understand row slicing and row subsetting. Okay, so this is really one good example. So now let's just move to next topic. Same thing, this time same thing, the topic is the same, is a row slicing or the row subsetting, but this time we're going to use we're not going to use the Boolean expressions, right? We're not going to use these Boolean expressions. Instead, we're going to use a method or the function called iloc or the lock. Okay, so iloc is used for slicing or subsetting based on integer location-based indexing. Okay, that means, let's say, you know what? Hold on. Let's just. Okay, so we know that it's this is the result, right? So if you use the iloc, so the syntax of the iloc or the lock is, you know, let's say for the iloc, right? Iloc, and then you use the square brackets, and then use a comma, and then this left side you put the integer value for the row, and then for this right side you're going to put integer location based index for the column. Okay, so in this case 0 means the 0th row. So let's see. Okay, so this is the data frame, right? You know that this is what? This is the 0th row, right? And then this is the first row, and etc. Right? So this is mean the 0th row, the very first row, right? And then so it's really like really, I mean this row, right? The first row, and then the second column. Again, the column mean the third column, because it starts with the what? You know, index number is always start with the 0, 1, and 2, right? Remember, starting from the 0, it's not 1. So the 2 means age, right? So basically this one is pinpointing is 21, right? Now let's take a look at the next expression. Next expression is they're using what? Colon, right? This colon means everything. Okay, so every row, all like, right? And then comma, so basically it's like, you know, every row, right? And then if you look at the column, so that means starting from the 0, right? And then basically this colon indicates the range. Okay, so it ranges from 0 to what? Actually this value minus 1. So the 2 minus 1 is what? 1, right? So it's really ranging from 0 all the way to 1. Okay, so that means what? So this is column, right? So this side is column. So if you look at this column, starting from 0 and ends at 1, right? Because 2 minus 1 is 1. So it really what? Returns this things, okay, as a data frame. Because this colon means every row, and then it specifies the column range, right? The range is from what? 0 to 1. So basically it's going to return this one. Okay, so now let's run this if that is true. Okay, so hold on. Yeah, so first result, as you can see, it returns 21, right? 21. So this is 21. The next one, it returns this this frame, right? This is a data frame, right? It returns every row with the 2 columns, author and articles. As you can see, the age column is not shown, right, in the result. So that's iloc. Now, similar thing. Okay, let's just take a look at the, hold on. Okay, now let's take a look at the lock. iLock and line, iLock and lock, pretty much the idea is the same. It's really like for slicing or the subsetting rows, but this time lock is based on the labels. Previously, iLock based on the integer location based indexing, right? As you can see, it's integer value 02 colon 0 dash colon 2, right? Those are the integer values. But for the lock, right? It's based on the labels. That's the main difference. Otherwise, what they are doing is the same thing. Basically, they are doing what? Slicing and subsettings. Okay, now let's just take a look at this lock, right? So lock, just like the iLock, it has a brackets and then comma, and this side it indicates what? For the row, right? And this side is for the column. Okay, and now, so let's look at the column. Column is age, right? So hold on, yeah, so it's going to look at this column, age column, right? Okay, then let's look at the row. Row, it's at 0. Okay, so that means this row, by the way, this 0 is not an integer. You know what? This is something that you should know. This is what? This is the label. Okay, this is not the integer value. So this is a labels by default is created by Python, Panda libraries, like when you use a data frame. So this is like a string 0, string 1, string 2, and string 3. This is not an integer, okay? This is a label. So they use the label 0, which is this one, right? The label. So it returns what? Returns 21, right? The same thing. And for this one, oops, I think I forgot to, let's see. For this one, right? The same thing, for the colons, let's say I'd like to return the same results, right? That case, yes, column is every row. And this time you have to set the what? Since you cannot use the integer value, you have to say author and articles, right? You have to specify the labels, so the column names. So in this case, since it's a multiple columns, you have to use a list. Okay, so you have to use a list, and the column name is author, right? And what is another column name? It's the article, right? Article. Then I have to put the single quote or the double quote. Okay. Okay, now let's just run. Okay. Oops, hold on. Oh, hold on. This is the list. Oh, I forgot to put the close parenthesis for the print functions, right? So, yeah. So first is 21, right? And then, yes, every row with the 2 columns, right? Author and articles. So basically, this is equivalent to this, right? This first one use iLock, and then second one use lock, right? That's the main difference. And once again, iLock for the integer location based indexing. For the lock, you have to use the labels. Okay, so that's the main difference. Yeah, so I want you to know how to use the iLock and lock, and then also the Boolean expressions for the row slicing and subsettings. Okay, so I'm done. Thank you.